What do you make of Kawhi being able to lift the phone and call Paul George up, and then the Oklahoma City situation just gets blown up? Should that be something that has some sort of legislation from the league to prevent? Stephen A., what do you think?
I disagree with that. It was definitely an epic move on the part of Kawhi Leonard. Make no mistake about that. To be a star of his caliber, to be a two-time NBA Finals champion, NBA champion rather than an NBA Finals MVP, and to be a free agent, to go to the Los Angeles Clippers and to basically say, look, LeBron and AD are in the Staples Center, the same city, the same town, same arena. They're playing, and I'm not about to come here and try to compete with that by myself. I've got a guy that I want to play with, but you'll have to go get him. The Los Angeles Clippers did not have to capitulate. They had the freedom to pass. The Oklahoma City Thunder certainly did not have to capitulate. It certainly didn't benefit them. They could, or in terms of losing Paul George, they could have passed. They elected not to, and that's the price of doing business. It is what it is. When we look at these guys, you got to remember, Sam Presti was on the phone contemplating potentially moving Russell Westbrook and Paul George to the Toronto Raptors, even though it's a part of the agreement, the contract that the players sign, whereas the players don't sign a contract that says, you know what, you can come and demand a trade in the event that you're not happy. The reality is the power still lies with the team. This notion that the players have the power is something that I vehemently disagree with, because you don't have to capitulate. You could tell them to kick rocks. They're under contract. You go out there and you perform because we have you under contract and we have your rights. You could elect to do that. It might not be wise in terms of the kind of culture that would be compromised or what have you, but the power still lies with the team because they are the ones that have the contracts at their disposal. They didn't have to capitulate. They elected to. And it turns out that it boded well for them because they got 5 first-round picks and 2 players.
The number of times that I've heard from your colleagues who have come on this show, Ramona Shelburne, Windhorst, others who are clearly locked in as well as you, that they're like, well, as soon as a star player asks out, you just gotta show them the door, because it's very difficult to have that athlete there, and they can make life difficult for the team. I've never heard of an instance of an NBA general manager saying, no, we're not trading you, Stephen A. It just seems to be a contract is different in the NBA.
Well, there's definitely a difference. Like in the National Football League, please. We all know that the power lies with, the teams and their respective owners and ownership. But in the case of the National Basketball Association, the players have become brands and commodities in and of themselves. They're like 12 individual corporations, for crying out loud. But understand what that also means. It also means that they have tremendous value. Let's, again, take Paul George, for example. Paul George was a star with the Indiana Pacers that was flourishing, and he was elevating himself to superstar status when he got injured in Summer League play playing for Team USA, okay? Then he was out for a year and obviously came back, needed to get his legs under him, and then last year he returned to star-studded status, averaging 28 and 8. It was his best season. Rich Eisen, there's no championship on Paul George's resume. There's not even any evidence, any proof that you walk through the turnstile and sell out arenas for him. Please don't get me wrong. He's a star. He's a first-class guy all the way. But he's not LeBron James. This is not some iconic brand that goes overseas and, it's like the second coming of Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan or somebody like that. That kind of status is reserved for the likes of a LeBron James. So all I'm saying to you is that when we look at it from that perspective, you still have to look at it and say, damn, they got 4 unprotected first-round picks for this guy, an additional protected first-round pick, plus Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's considered a young phenom with incredible potential as a point guard on the National Basketball Association level for years and years and years to come, who's only in his second league, this is his rookie campaign. So think about that. You got 5 picks, all first-rounders, and 2 starters for 1 player. And this guy is not even considered the superstar, the likes of a LeBron James, a Kawhi Leonard, or even an Anthony Davis. Yes, Paul George has incredible value, but keep in mind, you did not have to capitulate. What Sam Presti was able to do was manufacture his presence on the Oklahoma City Thunder's roster contractually and parlayed that into something incredibly significant in the eyes of all parties concerned. I don't see where the complaint is. I truly don't.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.